The Going to the Sun Road is closed at rising sun on the east side, so we parked our vehicle there and walked 5 miles up the Going to the Sun Road. We stopped at St. Mary Falls trailhead, hiked about a mile to the St. Mary Falls, and then we needed ice cleats to get up to Virginia Falls. However, we did not need snowshoes this early in the year. Along the way, we saw moose, bear, and even some bighorn sheep on this wonderful hike in Glacier National Park.
It is April 26th, 2025. Got reports of a calm day on the east side of Glacier National Park, so headed over, drove into St. Mary, and we're going to walk up the Going to the Sun Road. We parked at Rising Sun, and they have the hiker biker open on the east side of the park as well, up for about 6 miles, so we're going to hike up that way. Well, the perks are coming in early is no wind, no people. This is the St. Mary Lake and Wild Goose Island. Right down here. Moose. They called for 96 to 98% cloud cover today, but the reason we came over here was because of the low wind forecast, which has been absolutely true. But haven't been over to the east side of Glacier yet this year, so kind of nice to get over here on a calm day. This is what they call 98% cloud cover, which is awesome. The only bad thing is, left the sunscreen at home. Good problem to have. Digging through our packs on a stop, found some very fashionable sunscreen. Blue. So we just passed Sun Point, decided not to go down to Sun Point. We're about a mile or so from the St. Mary Falls and Virginia Falls trailhead. So we're going to stop here in the shade, have a little snack, and we're contemplating actually trying to get to St. Mary Falls. We've made it to Sunrift Gorge, which is, I think, a little less than 4.5 miles from Rising Sun, where we started. Not too much further to St. Mary Falls trailhead. Love this time of year when there's no people in here because the road is still closed for the winter, except for hikers and bikers. So we made it to the St. Mary Falls trailhead at the end of St. Mary Lake. GPS says from Rising Sun parking area to here was 5 miles. So we're gonna go down the trail to see what it's like. We left our snowshoes in the Jeep. Don't know if that's a wise call or not. We do have ice cleats, but we'll see how far we can maybe get. And it really looks like Virginia Falls is pumping out quite a bit of water, but I don't know that we can get there today, so we'll give it a shot. So what we're gonna do, let's see, where are we? We're here. We're gonna see if we can get over to St. Mary Falls and then maybe down to Virginia Falls. May or may not be able to make it out in the video, but Virginia Falls is right over in there. You can kind of see it from here. Looks like it's flowing pretty good. So we're approaching the St. Mary River that obviously flows into St. Mary Lake. Right up here, not too far, probably less than a couple tenths of a mile, is St. Mary Falls, where we're hopefully going to get to shortly. So we're putting on our ice cleats, and I think we're going to attempt to get to Virginia Falls. We don't know how much snow is there, but we stopped to put on our ice cleats, and with the blue face paint, it looked like I'm in Braveheart. Not much room on this trail. We're hoping we can get through all right. So after St. Mary Falls gets a little snowy, had some post holes and on some kind of steep parts. We're going to see how far we can get though. Arriving at Virginia Falls, having to navigate some rather deep snow in areas, but it looks like the bridge is in and there. Let me see. Virginia Falls, early season, still lots of snow. Woohoo! One last look at the falls, and then we're gonna head back. I think we're gonna try to make some lunch at St. Mary Falls. A little less snow down there. Give it a shot. So we just checked the GPS. It was about 7.1 miles from Rising Sun parking, where they have the Going to the Sun Road closed, to Virginia Falls. It was about 5 miles on the road and then 2 miles on the trail. The last mile, or 7/10 of a mile, we are wearing our ice cleats. A little bit of snow, a little bit of post holing, but not too bad. So we got about 7 miles back to the Jeep, but only 2 miles off-road. I think we're gonna stop and have lunch at St. Mary Falls, and then we may stop at Sun Point on the way back as well. Gonna get some good views there. So we just finished our lunch at St. Mary Falls on the way back, and so we've got about, I don't know, maybe a mile or so back to the Going to the Sun Road, and then about 5 miles back to Rising Sun, where our vehicle is. We might stop off at Sun Point at the lake as well, but we'll see. We made it back on the Going to the Sun Road, and we've got about 5 miles to walk back to Rising Sun, where our vehicle's parked, but it is a great day in Glacier for a walk. We're making our way back, and we've got Wild Goose Island back in our sights, and so we've got to walk down here around that peninsula and back, and that's Rising Sun, where we left our vehicle. So St. Mary Lake, here's Rising Sun boat launch, and that's where they have the Going to the Sun Road closed, and so we're parked there. We've got about a quarter of a mile left, and we'll be done for the day. So we're finishing up a little hike. We drove over to the east side. They have the Going to the Sun Road closed at, where?
Rising Sun.
Rising Sun, where we parked, and hiked about 5 miles up the Going to the Sun Road to the trailhead for St. Mary Falls and Virginia Falls, and we're able to actually get in and see both sets of falls today. I think our hike's gonna end up being just shy of 14 miles. Normally you can see St. Mary Falls and Virginia Falls in the summertime. It's only about 2 miles there and back, or 4 miles total, but it's nice to be able to see it without people early in the season like we did today in Glacier National Park, Montana. Got a bear right there, right by our Jeep. We're just gonna keep walking. Hopefully he stays there. He's looking at us. Nope, he's got his head down.